You think you've seen all the strange things this world has to offer? Then imagine an island where every single step could land on a deadly snake, or a place so forbidden that any outsider who dares to approach is met with arrows and spears. There are islands that feel like they've leapt out of a science fiction movie, where time stands still, people vanish, and nature rules without mercy. Today, let me take you on a journey through the 10 strangest and most bizarre islands on Earth. Places so surreal, they'll change the way you look at the map forever. 1. Snake Island, Brazil. Off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil, lies an island that no sane traveler would dare set foot on. Its name? Ilha da Queimada Grande. But the world knows it simply as Snake Island. Here, the jungle breathes danger. Scientists estimate that there's one deadly snake for every square meter. The island is home to the golden lancehead viper, a snake so venomous it can melt human flesh. It's the only place on Earth where this species exists, an evolutionary anomaly created by centuries of isolation. The Brazilian government has banned all civilian entry. Only researchers, escorted and fully protected, are allowed, and even then, every visit is a gamble. Legends say a lighthouse keeper once lived there with his family, until one tragic night, they were all found lifeless, covered in bite marks. Since then, the lighthouse has been abandoned, automated, and left to rot in silence. But perhaps the eeriest part of Snake Island isn't just its lethality, it's how it remains untouched by humans, a kingdom ruled by reptiles, where even the wind seems to whisper, "Turn back." Would you dare to take a single step? 2. North Sentinel Island, India. In the turquoise waters of the Bay of Bengal, shrouded by thick forest and mystery, lies an island that has defied time and outsiders for thousands of years. Welcome to North Sentinel Island, part of India's Andaman and Nicobar archipelago. But don't be fooled by its tropical beauty. This is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. The island is home to the Sentinelese, an isolated tribe that rejects all contact with the outside world. Approach by boat or helicopter, and you'll be met with a volley of arrows, spears, and silent fury. They don't want help. They don't want technology. They want to be left alone. In 2018, a missionary attempted to bring religion to the island. He was killed on the shore. His body never recovered. Since then, the Indian government has enforced a strict 5-kilometer exclusion zone, not just to protect curious outsiders, but to protect the Sentinelese themselves. They lack immunity to modern diseases. A simple cold could decimate their entire community. No one knows what language they speak, how they live, or what gods they worship. They are a living time capsule, untouched by history, wrapped in legend. And perhaps, just perhaps, some doors are never meant to be opened. 3. Hashima Island, Japan. Just off the coast of Nagasaki, Japan, rises an island that looks like a forgotten warship drifting in the sea. Locals call it Miyake-jima, or Battleship Island, but its real name is Hashima, once a symbol of Japan's rapid industrial rise, now a haunting monument to abandonment. In the early 20th century, Mitsubishi transformed this rocky outcrop into a coal mining powerhouse. By the 1950s, over 5,000 people lived on just 6.3 hectares of land, making it the most densely populated place on Earth at the time. Apartment blocks rose like concrete towers stacked tightly together. Schools, shops, even a hospital, all crammed within towering gray walls. But when the coal ran out, the life vanished. In 1974, the island was evacuated almost overnight. Families fled, leaving behind toys, dishes, photographs, like ghosts who never said goodbye. Today, the island sits in silence. Salt winds eat away at broken windows, vines crawl across cracked floors, and the sea crashes endlessly against the stone. Filmmakers have used Hashima as a backdrop for dystopian worlds, including the villain's lair in James Bond's Skyfall. Visiting feels like walking through a post-apocalyptic dream, a place where progress peaked and then disappeared. 4. Tristan da Cunha, the loneliest island on Earth. Imagine living in a place where the nearest hospital is a 7-day boat ride away. No airport, no cell service, just ocean in every direction. Welcome to Tristan da Cunha, the most remote inhabited island in the world. Located in the South Atlantic Ocean, more than 2,400 kilometers from the nearest civilization, this British territory is home to just around 250 people. Nearly all of them descend from 7 original families, and yes, the same last names appear again and again. The island is rugged, with volcanic cliffs that drop into the roaring sea. The air is crisp with salt, and the wind carries the smell of firewood and fishing boats. Life here moves at the rhythm of nature. There are no criminals, no traffic, no stress. The only village, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, is a tiny collection of modest houses, all facing the ocean. People live from lobster fishing, government support, and a strong sense of community. In 1961, a volcanic eruption forced the entire population to evacuate to England. But incredibly, most chose to return as soon as it was safe. Why? Because sometimes isolation is not exile, it's home. On Tristan da Cunha, the world is far away, and that's exactly how they like it. 5. Miyake-jima, the island of gas masks. At first glance, Miyake-jima, a volcanic island south of Tokyo, looks like a peaceful Japanese retreat. Lush greenery, winding coastal roads, and fishing boats bobbing in the harbor. But stay a little longer, and you'll notice something strange. Everyone wears gas masks. That's not a costume or tradition. It's survival. Miyake-jima sits atop Mount Oyama, an active volcano that last erupted violently in the year 2000. The explosion released tons of sulfur dioxide into the air, making the atmosphere toxic and unbreathable. The island was evacuated, left silent and empty for years. But slowly, life returned, with a condition. Residents must carry gas masks at all times. If sulfur levels spike, sirens wail across the island, and everyone scrambles to seal their faces. It's a surreal sight. A functioning town where every breath could be your last. Children play in schoolyards with masks on. Tourists snap selfies with apocalyptic gear. Locals monitor the air 24/7, living in a delicate dance with the volcano's mood swings. And yet, they stay. Because this is home. Because beneath the threat, there's beauty. Fishing, hot springs, and an eerie peace found nowhere else. On Miyake-jima, every breath is a reminder that life, even when fragile, still finds a way. 6. Socotra, the alien island of Yemen. If you landed on Socotra without knowing where you were, you might believe you've stepped onto another planet. Located in the Arabian Sea, off the coast of Yemen, this island is one of the most biologically unique places on Earth. Over 37% of its plant life exists nowhere else in the world. The landscape is dotted with strange, otherworldly flora, most famously the dragon's blood tree, with its umbrella-shaped canopy and crimson sap once used in ancient medicine and rituals. Nearby, desert roses bloom like twisted sculptures, and thick, prehistoric-looking bushes stretch across the rocky terrain. The air here is dry and still. Winds carve strange patterns into limestone cliffs, and waves whisper against deserted white sand beaches. It's haunting, silent, a place untouched by time. Socotra's isolation allowed its ecosystem to evolve in solitude. For centuries, the island remained practically unknown to outsiders. Even today, tourism is rare, limited by Yemen's political instability and the island's remoteness. But for those who do visit, Socotra feels like a dream suspended between earth and imagination. It's not just the trees, or the rocks, or the silence. It's the feeling that you're walking through nature's secret experiment, and once you leave, part of your mind never really comes back. 7. Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. Hidden deep within the ancient canals of Xochimilco, near Mexico City, lies a small, overgrown island that whispers to those who dare approach. Locals call it Isla de las Muñecas, the island of the dolls. And it's exactly what it sounds like, but also nothing like you'd expect. Dozens, no, hundreds of decaying dolls hang from trees, nailed to posts, strung from wires. Their eyes are faded, their limbs twisted, their expressions eerily human. The story begins in the 1950s. A man named Don Julian Santana discovered the lifeless body of a young girl who had drowned near the island. In her memory, he began collecting and hanging dolls, believing they would protect her spirit and ward off evil. But as the years passed, the collection grew. Some dolls were missing heads, others were burned. Visitors claimed they moved, blinked, or whispered in the night. Don Julian himself was later found dead in the same waters where the girl had drowned, his fate sealed by the island's mystery. Today, the island of the dolls draws curious tourists, ghost hunters, and brave souls seeking chills. But be warned, this is no amusement. It's a place where grief, legend, and fear hang from the trees, and where every doll seems to be watching. 8. Easter Island, the land of the Moai. Far out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, over 3,700 kilometers from the Chilean mainland, lies one of the world's most mysterious and remote islands. Easter Island, or as the locals call it, Rapa Nui. Here the wind sweeps across empty plains, and the sky stretches wide above rows of silent stone giants, the Moai. These iconic statues, some over 10 meters tall, were carved centuries ago by the Rapa Nui people. Their faces are solemn, watchful, their backs turned to the sea, as if guarding secrets lost to time. But how were they made? How were they moved across this rugged island without machines or wheels? No one knows for sure. Theories abound. Some say ropes and wooden sleds. Others speak of rituals and forgotten knowledge. Whatever the truth, the Moai stand as eternal witnesses to a civilization that once thrived here and then faded. Deforestation, overpopulation, and internal conflict likely led to the island's collapse. Trees were cut to move the statues, resources vanished, the society crumbled, and yet what remains is hauntingly beautiful. Visiting Rapa Nui feels like walking into a sacred echo, where stone remembers what men forgot. A reminder that even the grandest achievements can vanish, but the questions they leave behind endure forever. 9. Okunoshima, the rabbit island with a dark past. On the surface, Okunoshima is a whimsical paradise. Located in Japan's Sato Inland Sea, the island is famous for its dozens of friendly, free-roaming rabbits. They hop along hiking trails, nibble from tourists' hands, and pose for photos like storybook characters brought to life. But behind the cuteness lies a chilling history, one that many visitors never hear. During World War II, Okunoshima was home to a secret chemical weapons facility operated by the Japanese Imperial Army. Mustard gas and other lethal agents were produced in silence, hidden from maps and public records. Workers suffered chemical burns, respiratory illnesses, and long-term neurological damage, all under the veil of wartime secrecy. After the war, the facility was abandoned. The rusted ruins still stand, silent witnesses to suffering. As for the rabbits, some say they descend from lab animals used in chemical tests, released when the plant was shut down. Others believe activists later introduced them to symbolize peace and healing. Today, the island is a bizarre blend of innocence and horror. Wide-eyed bunnies hopping past crumbling bunkers and overgrown poison labs. Children laugh, birds sing, and the past lingers just beneath the surface. Okunoshima teaches us that beauty can rise from the ashes, but it never erases what came before. 10. Tashirojima, the Island of Cats. Tucked away off the coast of Ishinomaki in Japan's Miyagi Prefecture, lies a tiny island where the streets belong not to people, but to cats. Welcome to Tashirojima, more affectionately known as Cat Island. Here, felines outnumber humans, lounging on stone steps, wandering through fishing huts, and sunbathing on the harbor walls. They're not strays. They're respected, fed, and adored by the locals, who believe that cats bring good fortune, wealth, and protection. But how did this feline kingdom begin? In the past, Tashirojima was a thriving fishing community. Fishermen noticed the cats' behavior as signs of weather and sea conditions. Over time, cats became companions, and eventually, sacred beings. There's even a cat shrine where people leave offerings, hoping for luck in business, love, and health. Dogs, not allowed. Cars, rare. The air here is calm, the rhythm slow. Only about 50 human residents remain, mostly elderly. But the cats? They roam free, symbols of harmony and tradition in a rapidly changing world. Tourists come to see this soft, silent society, where purring replaces traffic, and eye contact with a curious kitten feels like a moment of magic. On Tashirojima, it's not just a love for animals, it's a way of life, rooted in respect, peace, and pause. From islands ruled by cats and rabbits to places where no human dares step, each of these remote lands reminds us just how strange, beautiful, and mysterious our planet truly is. Some guard ancient secrets, others whisper warnings in the wind, and all of them challenge what we think we know about Earth. So tell me, which island would you visit, and which one would you never dare approach? If this journey sparked your curiosity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep exploring the unknown.